Hello, welcome back to Pop Therapy. And as you will have just heard, I've got my amazing friend Heidi Anderson here with us today. How you doing, Hides?
Good. I feel like all of the stuff that we just spoke about for the last half an hour was therapy stuff. So we could have actually just used that as a behind the scenes of what's really going on for us. But this is why we talk pop culture, because we're both fucked in the head.
Yep.
Can I say that?
Look, we don't want to scare people away, but we went everywhere from anxiety, ADHD, death, the afterlife, children getting in the way, travel.
We did mention a little bit of reality TV, actually.
We did.
Yes. But we didn't go too deep because we were too busy talking about ourselves.
Exactly. I mean, weird.
Look, we're not fucked up. We're just humans having a human experience.
That's right. And I would say it's our first time here, but I don't feel like it is.
Well, on planet Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I've had a past life regression before, and because I used to get neck and shoulder issues all the time, and if you don't know what that is, go Google it, because we won't go down that too deep. But I used to get these neck and shoulder issues, and then when I did this past life regression, I was actually stabbed in the neck.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in another life. And
wow.
It was so
Were they able to clear it?
Yeah, I mean, I still sometimes get issues, but not nearly as intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry for previous you. That's terrible.
But why is it that the deaths are always a bit traumatic?
I know. Why is it never just like died peacefully in your sleep? You know?
Yeah, that's
good. But maybe it is.
Maybe that's this life.
Maybe, yeah, fingers crossed. But maybe that's the people that don't need to do the regressions because it was uncomplicated and untraumatic.
Yeah, and maybe they're the people that, aren't going to therapy like us and trying all the 50,000 things to heal ourselves.
Yes. God, it'd be nice. If you were one of those people listening.
Yes, let us know. How do you do life? Because we don't know other than chaos.
Chaos. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Now, everyone here will remember that Heidi and Heidi was the original Pop Therapy co-host.
Yes.
We started doing first, what did we call ourselves? We were doing weekly lives, and at first I think we were the Bravo analysts.
Yes, because we were analysing all the shows on Bravo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it became Pop Therapy episodes.
Because we're obsessed with human behaviour, aren't we?
Yeah.
And you're the therapist, and then I'm just the one that probably acts a bit more like the therapist when we're talking about.
Yes, it's so true.
Bravo.
I go into full pop fan, and you keep it in the therapy lane.
Yeah. So we just kind of swap lanes. But yeah, we started that. I reckon maybe was it a year ago or 18 months ago, even longer.
I think it's even longer. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before.
Look at us.
I know. Look at us.
And look at you now on doing it on your podcast. I love it, and I'm here for it. And I miss our every week chats.
Same. They were so good. They were hot takes. They were deep insights.
Yeah.
And the best thing is finding your people, and that's what these podcasts are about. And I went to dinner last night with some people I hadn't met before. It was like friends of a friend that were in town from the States.
Yeah.
And they were divine and obsessed with Bravo. So we just hyped it up, talking about Bravo, unpacking, and they're a married couple. They've been married for 24 years, 23 years, and they would finding things out about each other and their opinions on different people from the show that they didn't even know the other one had the table.
Did someone set this up like a blind friend date or something?
Yeah, so my beautiful friend Leanne, that people will have heard me talk about here, she is an Australian who lives in LA, has worked for Bravo on all of their networks, and she introduced me to Joe Bradley, who I had on at the beginning of the year.
Below Deck. Well, I'm watching that. We'll have to talk about that one too.
Yes, we definitely can talk about that.
Yes.
And so they're her friends over from the
fun.
States. And so I took them out to our favourite rooftop, which Joe and Leanne and I went to, and just had a blast.
Love
it was
that.
really,
So
really
you
fun.
Hung dog today, or?
No, I sipped one margarita. That was it.
Look at you go. What's
I know.
happened? What's changed?
I don't know.
Usually she's knocking back 12 margaritas with Joe Bradley.
Yes. See, that's actually true.
Or Hannah Ferrier.
Or Hannah Ferrier. Oh my God, the bottles of wine. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I can just imagine.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Well,
yes,
I'm gonna hopefully do that with you soon.
well, we did it not that long ago
in
your
hotel
room
Yes.
in Melbourne.
Yes.
That was fun.
I
So
know,
for
that
anyone
was
that
so
doesn't know, Heidi lives on the other side of the country.
Yeah, Western Australia.
Yeah, so it's a little bit tricky for us to do this in person as often as we would like to, but God, that was fun.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready again.
Same.
Yes.
I'm so ready.
Let's do it at BravoCon next year. I mean, I know that's far away,
in.
but I'm so ready for BravoCon. Just
So
saying. I'm
ready.
waiting for the dates. Come on, give it to me.
Yep. Well, I'm assuming there'll be November again. The annoying thing was it was in Vegas and it was around the same time as the Grand Prix. So getting around places was really difficult. They blocked off all the streets and
that sucks.
Bridges that you walk between casinos. It was just like
hard.
They've really got to
plan better. Come on,
date.
Andy. You've dropped the ball again, Andy.
Yep. We need to like just get a bit further away. I mean, it probably needs to go back into October, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't
we'll
care.
Talk to Bravo.
Talk to Bravo. I'm like, I don't care. Just take me there. Okay.
Just take me
I'm
there.
coming with you next time.
That's right. Exactly. And I know where we're staying and where they all stay.
Great. I love it.
So
I'm in.
It is happening. Okay.
Woo.
So you're watching Below Deck, you're watching In the City, you've watched Summer House, you're watching all the Housewives, where, I mean, we've just had the Summer House, In the City first part of the reunion.
Yes.
I mean,
God, isn't it awful? Can I just say, how did I begin to love Lindsay?
I know.
But I think it's the mother thing, like when you become a mum, I think there's something's shifted in her. And then obviously she's not the villain like she used to. I don't know, because I just found her really hard to love before.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I disliked her. She was entertaining on TV, but I found her hard to love. Now I'm like, yeah, you go, girl. Yes. I mean, I thought she was a bit dramatic with Whitney at the reunion, but
yes, I agree.
Yeah,
look, I feel like she has grown on everybody. I think in the first few seasons, she was so intense and it was a lot and she was a bit prickly.
Yeah.
And then she was on the outside for a long time with Paige and Hannah and Sierra and Amanda. Like they were never nice to her. They were never inclusive. They were very judgy with her and it would have been awful.
Yeah.
And I think she really did come into her own at the end of the Carl relationship and then the breakup and on.
Yeah.
And I just think though, I think she's totally wrong about the situation with Whitney. So Whitney, for anyone that hasn't watched, it's worth a watch. It's not my favorite show, but it's watchable.
I think it's warming us up. I think it's going to get better. Yeah.
Yeah. So Whitney made a comment about Lindsay using the single mom card to get what she wants. But actually what Whitney was saying is that Lindsay thinks she's entitled to more than anyone else. And I think that's correct. I think she sees herself as a 10-year OG on Bravo, which she is. And this is some newbie. Don't come in and tell me what to do. But she's really made it about this like single mom thing and you're shaming mothers everywhere. And I really was not offended at all about any conversation of motherhood, you know? And
it would be interesting to hear like if there was mothers that felt offended. I didn't look online, to be fair. I haven't read the comments or anything. Like I think Whitney did when she doubled down. I was like, oh girl, like you could have just left it there. And I kind of felt like, do you not know that this girl's going to run back and tell what's Andrea's wife's name? That's kind of just Lexi, what her vibe feels like. She just goes and kind of is the messenger. That's what her – but, I think I felt like she went too hard, Lindsay. But what I feel is Lindsay has the audience behind her at the moment and she's quick. She's funny. I mean, she could have done such a brilliant job of the Summer House reunion, actually asking the questions.
Totally.
When she came on and she was just like, this is a fucking waste of time. I was like,
Yes.
yes. And just how she said it to Andy, she's so good. Like, that's what I
Yes.
think it is. I've never seen her brilliance before. I know some of my other friends have, but I think it was just because she kind of icked me a little bit. But
Yeah.
she's made for TV. She's quick.
Yeah.
She's fast. And I think she can bring the drama, and she can, but the thing is she just goes a little bit hard sometimes and doesn't know when to
Yeah.
stop. And I feel like with Whitney did apologize. She did own it. She did take accountability. And I think Lindsay could have left it there.
Yeah, and I think Lindsay came in prepared to go really hard about being a single mum. And I'm not discounting what it is like for Lindsay. Yes, she's got money and she's got help and all of the things that most single parents do not have the luxury of. However, I will give it to her that, still it's your child and you're responsible for them, the majority of the time, even if you're calling the nanny in to look after her while you go out and shoot something, still the day-to-day and the mental load and the worry and the love and all of that, like we know that that's huge. And if you don't have a partner to, be like on the couch at the end of the day with, just to even sit on your phones, not even talking to each other, but silently in, a team together over how hard it is. Like all respect to single parents. I just think it's one of the hardest jobs in the world.
Just having a partner as well, so I can't even imagine doing it solo.
Exactly. But I just think she came in just really wanting to hammer that point so that the point could not be made about her entitlement. And she was loud and abrasive and convincing in her Lindsay sort of attacking way. Didn't let the conversation go anywhere near this sense of entitlement, which I think she absolutely would have.
And you know what? She kind of has run the show. Like if you, watching the 8 episodes, and maybe she'd watched, I mean, they obviously have to watch them. Maybe she'd seen that too. She carried it. She carried the Summer House reunion at the end, doing that extra interview with Amanda. Like I said, I feel like she's knowing, and this is the problem sometimes when the audience really starts to back you, is there's ego there and you can't help it. Like I've been to breakfast radio where everyone loved me. They had like a real Heidi's, following me around, and my co-host used to call them the minions. That shit is powerful.
They called them the minions.
I know, like
you are Lindsay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but I wasn't such an asshole in but that's what I like about her too, because sometimes I want to say the things that she just comes out and says, but she says it with humor as well, and she's quick-witted. And so, whereas I've always been like, I won't say I've always been the nice guy, but like, I have had that in breakfast radio, but I had the minions, and there's something powerful in that when you're kind of carrying something. So I think that's where sometimes she just needs to be like pulled back a little bit, and I think everyone's loving like her and Carl going out together. And do you know what I mean? Like I said, there's a lot of love around her at the moment. I think it's not gone to her head, but I think it's just, massaging her ego a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And she even gave it to Amanda at one point, like, thanks to your scandal, like that got me out of like my own, feelings about whatever was going on. So, yeah, and I think, it's really interesting that it's taken you this long to warm up to Lindsay, because she's so like you in the sense that you've both been publicists working independently for a long time. You see things in a way that like normal people not see. Normal, but like not PR brained people would see. Like you have a vision that can help other people bring their visions to life. And we see Lindsay doing that for herself constantly with grand ideas and like all of that stuff, and just fully like owning it. And so like I think that's been really impressive to see in her.
I love that side of her as well. And I think that would be cool. It's that, kind of when the Kardashians went from the family stuff and they never really had any of their business stuff focused on. I
Yeah.
feel like that would actually be more in the city. That would actually be more entertaining than some of just their bullshit drama that feels a bit kind of like, is this the storyline? I want to see, like, how does she make the deal, like with Carl and her for the Uber Eats?
Yes.
Like, that's the shit they should be doing, because that's so, and then having him like come in as a friend of, like, I just feel that could have been better, but I don't know. Like, Andy's not fully like that. I mean, some of the housewives bring their stuff in, but it is mainly drama. I think that's what I've really loved about the latest Kardashians on Disney, is because it's so much about like how their brands and their businesses and everything work and what they're jetting off to do. Like, I would much rather see that with Lindsay than her at home with her kid.
Yes, but I think the problem is when they bring brands onto the network gets a piece. So they'd have to, she'd maybe have to talk about it without talking about, you know what I mean? Like, I've got a plan for this shoot, I'm working for a brand, but then we don't really see what the brand is, or
see, that's what's so cool about the Kardashians. Like, you know, all the brands, you know, all the things. It's like so fascinating.
Yeah. I know, it'd be good to see a bit more of that, because some of it, like the whole season felt like there were moments that were really good, and then there were other moments that were just sort of a bit like
it kind of, I guess, do you think the valley was a little bit like that when it warmed up, and then you could see where it was kind of going? I think, I'm watching that, by the way, too. I just forget that I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
But the one thing that is memorable for me about the In the City, before we go on, and I feel like you're going to go hard on the valley here. It's probably because Lala's on the show, I feel like, which I love her. I've loved watching her this season. But anyway, was Kenny and his dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like the fear of finding, you know, there was just this, that shit made me cry my eyes out. And I was like, that was memorable, him reuniting with his dad and, you know, finding them on Facebook after the private investigator didn't look on Facebook. Like,
I mean, seriously. I know.
I was like, come on, mate. Like, Whitney got that over the line for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, females are pretty good at finding out shit. But yeah, that was probably
on the internet.
Yeah, that was probably my most memorable favorite part.
Okay, so the chatter online is that was like completely just for a storyline, and that his half siblings are like, you know, he allegedly knew how to find the dad, and already, like, it was.
But the dad came in like they hadn't seen each other.
I know.
But maybe he had, and then they had to reenact it. You know what I mean? Maybe the PI was from that happens a lot. If something happens off camera, and a lot of people probably don't know this, if it happens off camera, then they have to reenact it. Yeah. And that's sometimes why I hate TV. Like, that's what I loved about radio. You never had to reenact anything. Yeah. It was just like,
you may have wanted to.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to believe that, because it was such a nice moment.
I loved it too. I really did. It was beautiful. I liked how vulnerable his dad was about that. But is it really that hard to find somebody? Like,
I think it can be. I think it can be if you don't want to be found. One of my old co-hosts, he's never found his mother. I don't know if there's an update on that, but Ryan and Tony, they have a really popular podcast together, and he did a test because he was adopted out when he was little, did one of those tests, and then he found his dad in the USA, his dad didn't even know that he had a child, and then the mum he's never ever found. And like through all of the stuff that he's done publicly.
But if you know the name of your father or your child, like, they were in each other's lives until he was like 11 or something. Like, have you never been on Facebook ever before in your life and typed in your dad's name?
Yeah, maybe they just didn't want to be found. I don't know. Did they?
Or maybe he wasn't ready, and then he was like, you know what, this could be cool to do it on TV.
Yeah, because
it's a buffer.
This is what I think. My whole new podcast is called Shit Scared, right? And so many of the things that I've done through radio I would never do on my own. But because you kind of have the station, your co-host, everyone behind you, you're pushed into uncomfortable things that are scary or things that you put off. And so I totally understand why sometimes they do it on TV because it's or radio, because it's like, it's not like they're trying to be entertaining. It's like, fuck, I've got to do, like, I bungee jumped live on air. I would never in my fucking wildest dreams ever do that shit now. Never. But do you know what I mean? So I feel like maybe he had that backing, like, I can't get out of it. Like, this is, and maybe, you know, it was part of his storyline that when they interviewed him, he's like, oh, I do have this story. And so then it kind of just pushes you to do things. I think that's what I think sometimes.
I could see that. And look, he's a villain online for some reason, but I thought he was great for the show.
Well, it's because of the minions, because like I said, she's got the audience behind her right now and they kept clashing.
Yes.
I think that's probably why. Look, there was times that he wasn't likable and there was times where he was really likable. I could feel it was like he had that toxic masculinity at times. And then there was other times where it was like, oh, the walls are down. He's not got that, like, you know, that hardness about him.
Yes, and I feel like he started the show with a perception of Lindsay that he clearly had from watching the show and hearing about her, like, through Kyle. And, you know, he's a friend of Kyle's, an investor in Loverboy. So he would have tangentially been aware of Lindsay and had formed strong opinions about her and came in. He's like, I'm getting man-hater vibes. Like, that was a preconceived.
Right, 100%. You'd heard that she'd had two, like, bad relations, you know, devastating relationships publicly that, you know, you've been man, but I feel that.
Yeah. And then I felt like he started to get to know her when they had that dinner together or whatever that was and talked about their mutual challenges with their, you know, lack of relationship with parents. I thought that was amazing. Like, that was such a great scene.
But isn't that, and I know we're obsessed with human behavior, isn't that, and this is what I do keynotes on and everything, like the power of vulnerability. If they'd stayed fuckheads, like drinking together, being silly, like, you know, getting in each other's grill, we would never have that beautiful moment where they've actually connected. And that's why I think just taking off our masks, like showing our what we've truly been through or what we're going through is so powerful.
Yes.
Like, because right there and then you're just like, oh, yeah, this is, I mean, I cried. Like, I don't cry in very many Bravo shows, but I've cried a couple of times.
In this season particularly.
Yeah.
But, okay, we can't not talk about Amanda.
Oh.
Ugh. Like, the drain I feel watching her in every scene. Like, to me, I mean, she just feels completely like every scene I just wasn't believing a single thing she was saying or doing. I think she just has the narrative that she wants out there about Kyle has never been there for her and she's doing everything she can for the relationship. And we know at the same time she was out with West all the time. And, like, it's
him that I don't like. I mean, I don't like her in what her behavior and everything that she's done. But you're right. She's hard to watch. It's a hard watch.
It's really hard. And you just, you know, let's not forget there was a scene at the height of the scandal where she's sitting across the table. She meets West and Sierra and goes for lunch or whatever, and she's holding their hands like, my besties, like, yay, here I'm starting this new chapter, and I'm like, I've got my best friends there. And it's just like, I cannot understand how somebody can truly be that duplicitous and think you're going to get away with it.
Do you think she's a compulsive liar? Like, is it something to do with, or narcissism? Like, what's your therapist perspective of her?
My feeling is she's like a perpetual victim. And there's no real acknowledgement. Like, every single thing that she does is justified because of a wound from 10 years ago or because of like the behavior that she didn't like. And granted, she said many, many times what she needed in her relationship with Kyle, and she couldn't get it from him. And, you know, there could be 1,000 reasons for that. They were not compatible. They were different people from the beginning.
This is where I wonder if they're both liars. I'm like, how, like, why didn't he want it? Apparently they hadn't had sex in 4 years. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then she's throwing all this shade at him. And then, so was it when they just came on the show that they just pretended that they were together? And he's a performer. I'm sorry. He's an entertainer. Yeah. He knows how to play up for the cameras. Every time he gets drunk, he knew that was entertaining to stay up on his own, do his little things. Like, you become a character. And so my thing was it a character that he became, like, where it would be, oh, Amanda, like, can you kiss me? Or like, do you know what I mean? That he was, because I couldn't stand Kyle for a long time. And now I'm like, he has gone okay, like with everything that's happened with Amanda and Wes. But there's something going on for this blind loyalty with them both. And then the fact that they stayed together these last few years when you clearly, I don't know. I just feel like there's something
I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, tell me, therapist.
I think his love language is the doing of things.
Yeah.
Like she has made
service.
Acts of service. Thank you. Yeah. That's the technical term.
Yeah. The 5 love languages.
No, you know, the doing of things. My brain cannot compute words anymore. Sorry, guys, I'm 44. Like, roll with it.
She's 44. She's tired. She's a mum of 3. She's tired of everyone's shit on Bravo. No, we'd never.
I have to use so much energy just to like get through these shows, and I do it willingly and lovingly. But I think truly his acts of service, and she has been this perpetual baby. She was like, sorry, but in my opinion, like a spoiled little daddy's girl that came from plenty of money, has never had to really do anything. She's always had daddy to do everything for her, and then Kyle became daddy. And I think Kyle relished, you know, I think he relished in that role, and saving it's been her. And he can see her as this like broken little lamb, like even throughout this entire betrayal of the let's be real, nobody in this world believes that it started after she and Kyle separated made an announcement. Nobody believes that.
Too many things.
Yes, she's lying through her teeth. And we all see it, and it's really embarrassing that she keeps trying to force this timeline and narrative. Nobody believes it. So I think Kyle has been exceedingly generous and very publicly defending her. And as we heard in the reunion, like continuing to do her taxes and help her with, you know, and pleading with the public, like, you know, I'm really worried for her mental health, and, you know, like she just, you know, needs understanding and whatever. And it's like, of course I understand that there could be many things going on for her in terms of her mental health. This is not behavior of a well-functioning person. But he's gone in so hard with that I just think he cannot get out of caretaker role, because she makes herself a victim all the time. So even when she's laughing in his face, like in the reunion, you know, kind of giving him shit, like she's upset that like he's sleeping with this person and sleeping with that person, like as if how dare he, and that's gross. It's like, mate, do you know what we know? Like we know what you've been doing, and you are owning that you are with West Wilson. You've never once mentioned Sierra's name throughout this entire scandal. Still to this day in the reunion, she doesn't even say that. And the language that she used in that reunion, saying, I was disappointed in my performance at the Summer House reunion, and I wanted to come off as sad and hurt. I mean, not hurt, but like sad that I hurt people. And like even then, she cannot take genuine accountability
No.
for, and it's like, poor me. It's been a lot and I'm not really going out and it's like really hard. Instead of being like, I look, I really fucked
I
up.
fucked
and
up. Like,
I
that's all
really
she has to
hurt
say.
Sierra. Yeah.
Like, how hard is it, you fucking idiot, to like get it out of your
Seriously.
that really annoyed me. And I think like what annoyed me the most is when they showed her text messages to Sierra when Sierra was confronting her, and they were so dismissive and gaslighting and defensive. And I'm like, aren't you supposed to be her best friend? Like, as much as when you fucked up, you get on the phone and you take it, and then she has a choice to be like, yeah, we're going to be friends or not, But like, I don't know. It's just like she's just.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's something just not right about her behavior.
Oh, so not right.
What's the definition of trauma bonding? Could Kyle and her be trauma bonded? Because
technically, trauma bonding is when you bond with the person creating the trauma,
Yeah, because
it's almost like you're trauma bonded, like if you've got an abusive parent and then you're like trauma bonded in this cycle. We often use it now as like, two people that have been through a similar thing and they're trauma bonded. So like that's why they hang on to each other, but it's not really the clinical definition.
Yeah.
But I think it's become like the pop psychology definition.
I was just thinking if he was doing certain behaviors and then so she goes through the trauma with him, but then he's the one that picks her up at the end because she's the victim. Like, is that the trauma? Like, you know what I mean? Why they stayed together? I don't know, because it just doesn't make sense to me. And then I just think maybe you guys were just doing it all for reality TV and like, we'll stay together for a certain amount of time and then we've got to, I don't know. It just.
I don't think it's that. I think she came in as Kyle's like side chick and it was embarrassing. He was out partying, kissing girls and then getting home and calling her drunk at 2 a.m. and she would get in a cab. Yes. And she would get in a cab anytime he clicked his fingers and then she'd crawl into his bed and then he would have conversations about like, hey, I don't want this to be serious. I highly recommend anyone who's invested in Summer House.
Should I go back and watch the start?
Go back and watch the first few episodes of season 1.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Oh.
It's like, wow. And I think Kyle has been exactly the same person from day one until today.
Which is kind of sad that he hasn't evolved.
It is a bit sad.
As humans, we evolved.
Well, yeah, I think he's evolved in terms of like as a businessman, as a more mature person generally.
His behaviour just hasn't changed with the drinking and the partying.
Yeah. And I think, unfortunately, Bravo does this, and reality TV and fame, I think, does this to people. It kind of stunts them at wherever they became famous. It's like the Peter Pan syndrome with all of the boys on reality TV that can't.
Southern Charm, fuck me, those guys. I'm like, this is. Yeah. They need therapy.
They do, and some of them are in it.
Oh, okay.
But I
haven't noticed. No, just joking.
Yeah. Oh. Shep's written a new book all about his ayahuasca journeys and like his journey into self, and that'll be really interesting to see unfold.
He grinds my gears, that guy.
Does he?
Just cannot. But I still watch the show, all 3 of them, but probably mainly Austin. Oh, he kind of is a bit like Wes Wilson, gives me the ick.
Yes, I know.
But then I can't stop watching them because there's a part of me that likes them too.
Yeah, they're like kind of
brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah, annoying
they're like
fucking brothers.
Yep, here are our brothers doing that weird shit again. Oh my God, guys, I love you, but this is like, come on.
I love to hate you guys.
Yeah. But so like there are people like that on Bravo, and there are like, then there's the Valley.
So what's your thoughts on that?
First of all, rumor has it that it's being cancelled.
No way. Why?
I just think, thank the Lord, like let it be over.
I actually thought it hasn't been that bad.
Oh, this season I have found it excruciating to watch.
Yeah, true. It's like pretty bad. All the Danny and the
Luke.
Janet Starr. Oh my God, Luke's showing his real colours, isn't he?
Oh, who behaves like that 4 months after having a baby?
Like, okay, so this is what I want to say. I genuinely understand that I think the female, I did this. I didn't really think about how Griffo would, because, I was kind of going through my identity when I was pregnant. You kind of start to feel it because the baby, and then I think they kind of have their thing once the baby comes. And now I look back with my anxiety, leaving radio, all these things, and I reflected and I was thinking this. I'm not angry when people like Luke do dumb shit when they're drunk and say fucked up stuff, because I feel like as humans, when we keep stuff in and we're drunk, we do sometimes say inappropriate things or the wrong thing or something that we've maybe thought once, like I want a divorce or whatever. And then it comes out when you're drunk. I'm never angry at angry drunks because I've been there. I think it's the doubling down and they're a little bit dismissive and not understanding more of like the woman's postpartum journey. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have a mental load too. Like, absolutely he does. But they also, like, that's where it's like, well, go get the help earlier. Don't, like that's kind of how I felt. Like, and I felt like he had that awareness in the first season. I felt like he had it. And then it's kind of like, that's why I question his mental stability and health as a new dad.
And I think also it shows the age difference. He's like 10 years younger than Kristen or something.
Yeah, that's right. I forget that sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it made me feel like, oh, this is like so immature. But having said that, like I remember having, and that first baby is so scary.
Yeah.
Like, you are constantly afraid the baby's going to die
100%.
or you're going to do something wrong. Or like, what do I do now? Or like, can I like, hang on, I've got a time when I feed him and then wait, like if I want to go to the cafe, like should I have fed him first and then hopefully he's sleeping in the pram, or like, oh, do I have to try and like feed him in public, but wait, what am I going to wear then? Because I don't want like my whole boob out. Like, you're constantly thinking of 10,000 scenarios, and then the baby's crying and you don't know why, and it's not stopping, and then you're like Googling and you like it's just an endless, and you've got the hormones and your body's different and everything is different. But in my relationship, we were so in it together. He didn't want to be anywhere else. He was sharing. I mean, I was exclusively breastfeeding, so he couldn't do anything like that. But he would then change the baby. Like, I'd feed him, he'd go off and change his nappy, and he loved being so needed by me and the baby and being involved. And if he had like wanted to go out drinking and leave me with this brand new baby where I'm so scared everyone's going to die every 5 seconds, including every time you leave the house, I'm worried you're going to die. And I'm worried we're going to kill the baby. And like, is the baby breathing while he's sleeping? Like, all of that stuff is so visceral that first time around. And then imagine you've got to film a TV show and know the whole world is watching you. I just cannot understand how he's creating all of this tension and drama. And I'm sorry, like, demanding sex.
Yes,
like
that
get
pissed me
the
off.
fuck out of here.
Yeah. And I think that definitely pissed me off. I feel like he, when the therapist said like having a newborn is literally like throwing a bomb into the relationship, I thought that was such a great analogy, because literally everything goes to shit and everything's affected. Like, it's the ripple of, all the shards of everything that's been thrown in there. And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, that is so brilliant how she said that. But I think with him, you're right. I think it's just immaturity. And I think also, I know a lot of people talking about nervous systems these days, but now I understand a little bit more of like the fight, flight, and all of that kind of stuff that happens with your nervous system when you are cooked, when you're exhausted, when you're like living with someone with intense anxiety. That he's, for me, I'm a snappy Tom. Like, I'm like,
Same.
And it's
anxious.
that fight. So it's that fight, and I feel like that's what's coming out for him. And unfortunately, he has been Mr. Nice Guy the first season. So when someone's been so nice and you think they were a bit, like, I did feel like he was a bit more well-rounded than the other guys, that when you start to show that side, everyone's like, oh, show your real colors, when it's like,
Yeah.
well, can't he just be a fuckwit and we give him a little bit of grace?
Yeah. It really turned me so far away from him. I can't even like look at a picture of him.
Yeah,
I'm just
wow.
like,
That's me and West Wilson.
ew.
But the thing that pissed me off in the latest episode was when they were talking about Janet and what's her face, Jessie was mentioning it to Danny and Tom
Yeah.
Schwartz and that little foursome chat.
Yeah.
And Luke's aggressiveness in that to
Yep.
me was like, he's definitely got some anger coming through, but it was just the
Yes.
dismissiveness. And like I said, I think that's what it was with Kristen as well. That's like, not necessarily if you fly off the handle and say dumb shit when you're drunk, that you should, that you should take accountability for the next day. But it's the little the dismissive comments and the tone with that I think is probably what is pissing me off.
Yes. And I think you cannot like Janet and think she's a dick and be angry with her and also believe that something terrible happened to her when she was a little girl that she has not wanted to bring on camera for the exact reason that everybody's going to come for her and say she's using it for a moment. Like, of course she wouldn't want to get into that wound, and there were probably people in her life that have no clue that this even happened to her, and now the entire world does. And like, I just think we can still hate Janet and we can also believe that something happened to her, and it kind of explains why she has not been able to let go of this stuff with Danny.
And tell me this as a therapist as well. Me and my mum often talk about this. When things happen to you when you're a child, your body remembers, but your memories can be distorted. They can be blacked out. And so if she did go seek therapy after what happened with Danny, not knowing why she was maybe her strength of her words and why she said, and then because the group turned on her, she might not have known to say that straight away because she's done the therapy now and has like revisited a memory that her body probably remembered when he shut the door, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think, there is a part of her that's just, genuinely just a bit unlikable,
Unfortunately, she is, isn't she? Yeah. And like, I mean, yeah, she doesn't bring a lot to the show. And I feel like she could be softer, I think. And probably it's more her stepping into the softness.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like she's missing. Like, whereas I feel like I've seen a bit more of Lala's softness. I've seen obviously her like raw, but like I can see how she's softened.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to believe anything that Lala does or says because she rewrites history like on the flip of a coin based on whatever she thinks is the moment. Like, first of all, Randall is a stand-up man. Don't you come for my man. And then it was like, I never was into him, and then it's like, sorry, everyone. Technology is not my friend today. So we just got cut out mid-rant. So
maybe it was the universe telling us to shut the fuck up.
Maybe. Wouldn't be the first time. Do tend to overheat.
I know, but that's what I think. It's like, all right, you cooked that one. Like, let's go. We got 50,000 other shows. But I just said to you, I've literally got 10 minutes. So what do we need to debrief?
Okay.
Who, what, where, when?
Okay. Look, there are a few things going on. So there's Real Housewives of Orange County 20th year reunion season. I don't know. I've watched some of the first episode. I'm just finding it so like, is this show not done to death? And look,
I think this will be the last one.
Well, I was in the room when Vicky got her orange from Andy Cohen at BravoCon at the Bravo Awards, the Bravos. And she had no idea, and it was such a moment, and I was so excited, and I was like, yay. But they've brought back every other bloody person on that show, and I find every one of them to be just boring and insufferable and inauthentic and fake, and I have no interest. So it's really hard to hook
It's hard to
in.
watch. I think my thing is watching it is just because I need to numb out sometimes. So I do.
Yeah.
And I just kind of need to keep up with the goss. But
Mm.
I couldn't help but think, like, hasn't this been done to death on this show? Like,
Yes.
couldn't you, this was the OG show. Couldn't you have reformatted it and gone more into their families and this? But
Yes.
instead it's just gone straight
Oh.
into the same fucking thing.
Yes.
And
I
I'm
don't
just
care
like,
that
oh,
Tamara's feelings were
kill me.
hurt about people saying mean things to her. Like, she's the meanest person on television. You know, I don't care about Heather, like, fake apologizing. I don't care about Emily's up and down yo-yoing weight. And I don't like how she's using her child's whatever is going on there as her storyline. And Gina, like, whatever, boring. You know,
See,
Shannon.
I kind of have grown to like Gina and like Emily,
you?
but I think that's the thing too. It's kind of like, okay, this is done now. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
And like, if Gina gets married on the show, I think that would be beautiful. Or if we saw their engagement, or do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? It needs some real life stuff.
Yes.
And with Emily and her son, obviously they have to be very careful with sharing what they share about him because it's not her story.
And he can't consent.
Yeah. And so I think, you know, you want to see real family stuff. Like, they are having a challenge and you want to see how they navigate it and you want to do all those things. But you do have to toe a very, you know, tight rope because of he is a kid.
Or maybe you go, okay, my child is going through something really massive. Maybe I don't go on a TV show. Maybe I focus on my kid.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same with Tamara. She did the same thing. She like lost her relationship with her child because she chose the show over a relationship with one of her daughters. Like,
yeah, I think I believe that if you have goals and dreams, that I want you to go for it and I want you to show your children that. But I think, but I agree in that, like, that there's work to be done as a whole family in how we can help our kids. And, you know, like, it's a family team job that you all need to be on board. And that could have been maybe what they show of Emily and stuff. But like I said, it just feels like the same shit, different season.
Yep. I know. I have no interest, but I might persevere. But I just, you know, I dropped out of almost every season for the last few years. I tried and then I was like, oh, God, it's just so boring. There are so many better things to be watching, like Salt Lake City.
Oh, yeah. You know. Or the girls of, what was the new one called? Of not New Jersey, the island, Rhode Island. Yeah, see, that was good.
Oh, my God. That was incredible.
But, God, that was hard to watch some of the people on there. But it
was so good.
Dolores's best friend, whatever her name is.
Liz.
Oh, my God. She is, I want to say, insufferable.
Well, you know, she's rumored not to be coming back. Because I think she put out a thing because allegedly her best friend Dino is looking at like a very long time in prison for cocaine things. And the smart thing, if this is your best friend and your husband's been in business with him, maybe.
Oh, God, yeah, because we've seen the death of a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plenty of people go to prison on Bravo. Yeah. So maybe the smart thing is just to kind of step away.
Yeah.
Which we never see them do. We see the skeletons, the people with the biggest things to lose come on these shows. Like Ruler. Why is Ruler on the show with her currently cheating husband?
I can't deal. Like, they're all that's what I mean. It's like a train wreck. That's why you wanted to watch it. And then I think, like, because we get obsessed with the human behavior, it's like, well, why and how? And like, but I think some people genuinely have that God complex. That's just what it is. Like, there was moments of the show that I was like, oh yeah, this is so good. And there was moments that, like I said, it was bad, but you just couldn't look away.
Yeah. And like, I thought Ladies of London was fantastic.
I never finished it.
Oh, I loved
I only got
it.
halfway through season 1 and then I was
Oh,
like, nah, snore
no, it wasn't
fest.
for you.
But
Oh,
I
I
might have to go back and
loved
watch it.
it.
I think it's just that I love, like, I genuinely love the Americans. I think they do it best out of all the
Yeah.
housewives.
Were you a Made in Chelsea fan back in the day?
No, didn't really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like more grown up Made in Chelsea. It's like
Yeah.
real money people from
Yes.
London
From London, darling. See,
and
I'm
one or
like,
two Americans, thrown in.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just it hasn't been renewed and I'm devastated
I
because
thought this season 2 that everyone loved it. Like, and that's why it came back. But so is it season 3? They're not renewing.
no, they only had one season of Ladies of London. You might be thinking of Real
Oh,
Housewives of
yes, the Real
London.
Housewives. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is coming back for a second season
Yes.
imminently.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what else? What other ones have we got to
Well, if so the rumor online is that The
Mm-hmm.
Valley is cancelled but that someone's getting a spin-off.
Who would get a spin-off?
I really hope none of them. There's no story for me for any of them to tell. I'm not interested in Nia and Danny and their religious cult.
That was hard to watch because
So
they have
hard.
moments of like, yes, you're being accountable, and then all of a sudden you're just a dick.
Yeah. He's so annoying. Like,
I really
let's
liked
go.
him at first.
Oh, like so annoying. And I understand, like, if you feel like you're under attack every time you're with a group of people, you're going to start acting weird.
Yeah, you're good because you can't be yourself. Yeah, you can't be yourself. So you're pretending to be someone that you're not. And then,
Yeah. And I will say that I feel like Jesse Lally, I met him at BravoCon. We had a little tequila shot, as you know. We've talked about this before. And I met Lacey, and she was divine. And I really liked them. Like, genuinely, just like felt like a normal couple, like really lovely people.
I think she's probably been a great asset because she's not the rah. She'll say what she truly thinks, and she'll go, well, that was kind of shit, or and then I understand that, but you can't treat me that way, and then it's like, move on.
Yes, and it's like, don't talk to her like that. Like you are never going to speak to her like that again. Yeah. Even if she doesn't like that person. Yeah. She's so sensible.
I think Jessie and Michelle have had a redemption round. Like both of them, even she, like both of them. Do you reckon they had the thing off camera and were like, shall we make this work on camera? And then because, you know what I mean? Them just having a glass of champagne together and ending it, her showing that more emotion because everyone was like, she's so fucking hard. And obviously she went through losing her mum. And again, grief changes people, you know, and I don't know. I feel like, did they just kind of go like, let's try and win the fans back?
I don't know. I feel like there was almost a what's the word, where she was sort of humbled a little bit because last season she came on with the bug-eyed guy as her boyfriend and they broke up, and I think it was a pretty like he was a bit of a dick.
She didn't work out enough, or she wasn't fit enough. I'm like, what the fuck?
Seriously. So, I think there was some humbling in that, and then seeing Jesse in a relationship where he's like everything that he wasn't in her relationship with him. I think she did have to do a lot of kind of, I don't know, reflecting or eating crow or like making a choice to be different. Because it was interesting that she'd said to him on the Mexico trip, can you just be mindful of like, this is really difficult for me to see you guys like cuddling and kissing. And he just gently said, well, I had to do the same thing last year. And then he didn't press it, She was like, yeah, but it's different. Like, it's not different. She moved in with a guy on the show and he was everywhere and they were so mean to Jessie and Jessie was spiraling. And like that, we just brush over that, you know, but I do think you're right. I think they've come to a much better place. But I'd be quite happy not to watch any of them anymore. There's no one there. I have no interest in Brittany. I have no interest in, Janet's story. Really no interest in Luke. I like Kristen, but I
I think
She can just
Lala is
live.
interesting. And I know she's been a dick and I know, but I think she's interesting. She's an interesting human and she's complicated. And I think that's why I'm drawn to her because I'm complicated too.
Yeah, but I really like you.
I really like you too. But you know what I mean? I feel like she did talk some good, she called Kristen out like for how she was doing and she was trying to do it in a kind, compassionate way, not a dick way. The way I've seen her with, Schwartz and then Michelle and Jan, I don't know. They just felt like she's not afraid to confront stuff, which is what I like about her. But I don't know, she's just, and how she's gone about having her kids and the new podcast she's got with old mate's ex-wife, that to me is so interesting.
Yeah.
She's smart.
She's also got a new podcast with Sally Carson.
Yes.
Who is sleeping with Kyle but has also slept with West. So
what? And she's also slept with Craig.
Austin.
No, Austin.
Wanted Craig. Joe Bradley from Southern Hospitality, Gaston from Southern Hospitality.
Joe Bradley. Joe Bradley.
Not my friend. There's
can we
two.
just quickly talk about that before we end?
Yes, we can. Below Deck. Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. I mean, I think a new villain has clearly emerged, and I don't think it's my friend Joe.
The Dirty Sheets guy. What's his name again?
Luke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because the girl who he was sleeping with,
Jen,
she could have wrote her own storyline of just being really hard to be liked. Now, I said to Griffo when I was watching it with my husband, because that's the one Bravo show we watched together.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this guy I want to fucking punch through the screen like West, because the thing she said to him was exactly what he then went and did. And that was her moment of vulnerability. And yes, she was annoying and all those things before, but now you can't help but want to fight for this chick of you don't treat people like that.
You don't treat people like that. But this always happens on Below Deck, right? On every season. Last season of Down Under, there was a South African girl that was doing the love triangle thing. I've forgotten her name already. And she was in a love triangle with Chef Ben and that other guy.
Oh, the girl with the funny accent, the South African girl.
You couldn't. Jenna, her name was.
Jenna, yes.
Yes, and she was very difficult to understand. And it was Eddie and Ben were up against each other.
Yeah.
So they it is literally on every season that they're in a tiny space. They all it's all they're knowing.
And I know I've slept in friends' sheets and had sex in friends' sheets and everything, but the fact that you jizzed all over and then he got sick as well, remember?
Yes.
And then he got sick. But the fact that he didn't just own it the day and go, hey, I've got to wash your sheets. I'm so sorry I ran out of time yesterday, but I actually had sex in your bed or wanked all over the girl anyway. That's what it looked like. It didn't even look like they had sex. It just looked like he wanked all over her.
Yeah.
And all over the sheets.
But it's not even just that. They had sex the night before in his bunk. Then he kicked her out of the bunk and she went down and slept in Nathan's sheets in his bed, drooling, sweaty, been boozing all night and just had sex with this guy and gone into Nathan's bed and slept in it. Then he got in the morning and she gave him a hand job. And
it was
he
a hand
came
job.
all over. I think so. And then he came all over the sheets. It was the equal responsibility of both of them. Just strip the sheets immediately when you get up, chuck them in the laundry, even if the washing machine's full, just get them off the bed. And if you had said to Nathan, I'm so sorry, mate, we were so drunk and just you were off the boat and I'm so big, I just couldn't fit on the top, but don't worry, I'll change your sheets. I'm so sorry. I think that would have been fine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so tell me, he's a dick, that guy. He's obviously going to get fired, I think. But Joe, have you been texting him?
Yes.
Because I know you guys are friends.
We speak regularly. We text all the time. We chat on the phone. He's been living his best life in the south of France as a captain of a chase boat of this big yacht and working with his sister, and it's just been a beautiful time for him. And So it's really fun to like have a gossip with him about like what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Did him and Nathan stay friends?
no.
Oh, because I felt like they were kind of working back
Oh
to.
no. Look, go if you even just and I'm not breaking his confidence here because I know a lot.
Yes.
But there's he every interview he's done, even to this day, unfortunately, there is no friendship there. And I think that will unfold over the season, and it'll be really interesting to see how that happens. But I think, you know, we all know Joe is a naughty boy. He gets caught up in the girls, you know. But as we've seen, and as I said before, they all do. Like, that's the show. Like, you're on a small boat, you're horny and you're young and you're in your 20s and like you're hooking up with each other. Like, let's give him that. But I think he is really a professional. You know, like things were really tense and fractured with Nathan, and he came on board and he's like, yep, following the orders, doing the things, being professional. You know, Nathan went at him drunkenly that night when he was saying to one of the girls, like, oh, Gail and I don't really get along, but it was really so kind of special and opened my eyes to see them with their baby. Like, he was actually saying something nice. And then Nathan's like, don't ever use her name in your
He's
mouth
Irish.
again.
What accent is that?
Yeah. Don't ever. Oh, no, I'm going Scottish again. Don't ever put her name in your mouth again. I don't know, but he was so seething with rage.
Yeah, he's just reactive. Nathan's reactive.
So reactive.
Emotionally reactive. That's his problem.
And I was so proud of Joe. He was like, no worries. He didn't fight back. He wasn't like, no, but I wasn't saying, no, what I was saying was,
yeah.
He was just like, okay, no worries. No worries, mate. And I think his temper rings some bells for me.
I can understand how hard it would be with a newborn, and then your partner's here like with and she's anxious, and you get sick and like all the things, then you've got to show up for this TV show, and then you've got this guy here that like you were best friends that you can't even confide in him, and there's this like emotional charge with that.
Yeah. But then the guy jizzes in your sheets.
And then the guy jizzes in your sheets. So it's like, just do the work. That's where I kind of go, like, get the fucking help. Like, you know, just do the work, mate, for your kid. Yep. Like, do the work for yourself.
Yep.
And then Joe, look, I know he's your friend, and like I'm sure I would have so much fun with him.
You would love him.
That's what I mean. But I can't help. He's grinded my gears on all the seasons that it's hard. It's hard to win me back just because you're playing Mr. Nice Guy now with your accent.
Yes, every time he rings me, I'm like, Joe Bradley. And then we realized last time I'm fully Scottish every time I'm answering the phone. And he's like, yeah, but I love it. It's fine. And I was like, well, I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
What, his name?
You know, well, as in like my accent, trying to pretend to be him. But no, I just go, Scottish seems to be, maybe there's like some signs going on here, Hides. Maybe
I know I've got to be in Scotland. I'm hoping to be in Scotland soon. And I've seen lots of Scottish people lately.
Have you really?
Aye.
You're going to Scotland?
To
I think
Edinburgh.
That would be good. Edinburgh.
I think. Sorry to all our Scottish listeners.
Okay, sorry. Yes.
We're sorry
Tragic.
we butchered your accent. And then the Irish and then the American.
Usually I'm pretty good with an Irish. I've got to get it back in my head.
Yeah, you might need to work on that one. But I got to go, girl. Like,
all right.
I'm already fucking hours over.
Yeah, we have been basically on the line with each other for 2 hours, recording for one. But thank you, my love.
Sorry to leave you all hanging, but I'll come back.
100%. We need you back. So where can people find you? What can you plug? What can we talk about if this is coming out in the next couple of days?
Yes. Well, follow me over on Instagram at _Heidi Anderson. But I'm about to launch my new podcast, Shit Scared, the podcast, all one word, on Instagram. And it is coming. It hasn't got a launch date yet. We're soft launching. Definitely not like Luke's penis, which was a hard launch into the world. But it is coming, literally, just like he did on the sheets.
Yes.
And so it's exciting.
So exciting. I have already been a guest.
Yes,
everybody. I think I was the first guest. I had the
Yes,
honour.
Yeah, you were.
And I'm telling you guys, it's going to be so good. So make sure you're following all of Heidi's links. You want to be the first to hear everything and get in on the ground. This is not going to be like any other podcast, and you are going to love it.
Yes.
So
It's
get
a
in
permission
early.
slip. It's a permission slip to do all the scary shit, say all the things we want to say, and it's been brewing for years, and I'm ready.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Woo!
We are ready.
Thanks for having me.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.